Okay, welcome to my mass transit update for Tuesday, March 20th, 2018. We have three things I want to talk about. I'm going to start off with this awful tragedy in Harlem today. We're going to talk about two issues with the subways, and then we're going to talk about a detour in Bayside, Queens this weekend on Saturday, March 24th, involving the Q13 and Q31 bus route. The first issue we're going to talk about today, and this is a awful tragedy involving an MTA employee dying after falling from an elevated structure in Harlem today. A worker making repairs to a subway tunnel in Manhattan was killed earlier today when he fell and injured his head. The circumstances of the accident, which occurred just before 5 o'clock this morning at the Harlem 125th Street and Lexington Avenue station, inside the tunnel that carries the 4 and 5 trains. Officers responded to a 911 call, found the MTA employee unresponsive and lying on the southbound tracks with trauma to his head. The man has been identified by the TWU as St. Clair's Sierra Richard Stevenson, 23 years old, of the Bronx. Sadly, this gentleman was pronounced dead at the scene. Mr. Richard Stevens appeared to have fallen from an elevated position within the tunnel area while working at the location, the police said. The investigation is ongoing. Earlier reports said that the man was struck and killed by a moving train. It was later confirmed by the NYPD that the man fell from an elevated area in the tunnel. New York City Transit President Andy Byford said, "These are the days you dread." There is a full investigation underway. We are appreciative of New Yorkers' patience during this morning's rush hour and for the caring they're showing for our fallen colleague. Yes, more importantly, condolences are to be sent to the MTA, the TWU, co-workers, friends and family of this young man who was just doing his job, making sure the tunnel was safe, and more importantly, trying to pay his bills, because it's hard these days in New York trying to at least make a living, and this young man was looking out for us strap hangers. So a lot of patience was required this morning, and we're going to go to the emails right now, because the emails are going to help us. Yes, we will talk about Bayside at the end of the video. I promise. I promise everyone we will talk about it. Okay, so here's the email I got this morning, and this is a crazy email I got at 8:20. There was no 4 train service between 86th Street and 149th Street Grand Concourse. 5 trains had stopped along the 2 line between 149th Street Grand Concourse and Nevin Street in the Bronx. There was no southbound 5 service between Nerid Avenue to East 180th Street in the Bronx. Also, this is very important in Harlem today, there was no 6 train service between 86th Street and 3rd Avenue and 138th Street. 6 trains had to run express between Grand Central and 86th Street on the Upper East Side in both directions. W trains had to stop along the 2nd Avenue subway between 57th Street and 96th Street in the Upper East Side. There were, of course, shuttle buses providing service between 86th Street and 149th Street Grand Concourse in both directions. And more importantly, there were no D trains running express this morning. So it was a very hectic, complicated morning with, of course, the death of this MTA employee. We are going to take a look at what time the train service came back to the area. 10:21 this morning. 4, 5, and 6 train service resumed, making stops at the Lexington Avenue 125th Street station. So thankfully, we had this issue solved. And of course, I had this email sent to me They were bypassing it, and thankfully at 10:21 they were able to get service, but as expected, the NYPD is going to, of course, investigate this throughout the night, obviously. So, very big problem today for people who relied on the Lexington Avenue line this morning. Now we're going to talk about an issue that impacted me this morning involving a train with mechanical problems. Because it was reported earlier it was signal problems, then it was mechanical problems. So we have to go into what happened. So what happened was southbound R trains had to run via the F line from Roosevelt Avenue to Lexington Avenue, 63rd Street. So get this. I just said this. Express. I mean, isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing that southbound R's had to run express on the F line? And they had to run along the Q line to 57th Street, 7th Avenue. Because signal problems at Queens Plaza. So I didn't gamble with the chance. Okay? Literally at 11:25, I got this email right when I was transferring on to the 7 in Jackson Heights. You can't make this stuff up. I didn't want to get screwed because there was no communication in the subway. So I had to find out afterward. And I was like, okay, no problem. I can get off at Grand Central. I'm still going to get off there and I can backtrack and then get to where I need to go on West 45th Street because the Chrysler right near the Chrysler building, I think, you have Citibank building, and if I apologize for my geography, everyone, but Citibank building has an exit, so that's why I wasn't able to backtrack today. Yeah, sick passenger with the B and the D. B and D's had to stop along the C line from 59th Street, Columbus Circle to West 4th Street, Washington Square, then via the F line to Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue, because of a sick passenger at Rockefeller Center. And this was weird. I was just finishing up lunch at a pizza shop on West 46th Street. And I was thinking to myself, should I take the B, D, F, or M and backtrack to Penn Station that way? I did the right thing by taking the 1, 2, or 3 train and then taking the 1 to Penn. And thankfully the 135 didn't have any problems today on the Huntington. Oh, and get this. I just got this email regarding traffic in Jamaica. As expected. We're not going to read that. The final point I want to make today is about a parade going on in Bayside this Saturday, March 24th. There will be a parade along Bell Boulevard between 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. this Saturday, March 24th. Rerouting details go as follow. For the Q13, northbound buses will be going along Northern Boulevard. They're making a left on Corporal Kennedy Street, right on 26th Avenue, left on Bell Boulevard to follow its regular route to downtown Flushing. Oh, my bad. This is, excuse me, right, this is the Bayside bound bus. Right, this is northbound, so I apologize. This is Bayside bound northbound buses. Okay, this is Flushing. So this is how you're going to get to Flushing. Q13 southbound, via Bell Boulevard, right on 26th Avenue, left on Corporal Kennedy, right on Northern to regular route to Flushing. So, this is Flushing bound buses, right here if you want to take a look. And then this is Bayside bound buses. So northbound it's Bayside, southbound it's Flushing. Now, let's take a look at Francis Lewis Boulevard 27th Street bound buses. Q31 will be as followed. It will be going on to Bell Boulevard, obviously, because that's the route it comes from Rocky Hill Road. That's going to be making a left on Northern Boulevard. That's going to be making a right on Corporal Kennedy Street, then following its regular route. Jamaica-bound buses will be going on Corporal Kennedy Street, making a left on Northern Boulevard, and then going to make a right on Bell Boulevard and following the regular route. So if you want to take a screenshot, you're more than welcome to do it right now. as I'm ending this video. Just to quickly recap, it's been a very bad day for the subways. Thankfully, I wasn't impacted that much, and thankfully the Long Island Railroad didn't have any problems. So to end the video on this final note, tomorrow during the Nor'easter, I am going to try to be as live as much as possible with Matt Camper. If there is a problem with mass transit, most likely on the Long Island Railroad. We're expecting a big storm tomorrow, so please stay tuned to this channel as the storm is going into the New York area tomorrow. So just stay safe tomorrow during the storm. If you don't have to be out, please stay where you are, because you don't want to deal with mass transit during this storm. There are going to be problems, and I'm going to have to cover them. So, yep. Till next time, everyone. Take care.